here quickly. And I remember this next player, Catherine, all of her pitches were high. So, and I mean, that's super high. So, I mean, this is tough. I don't really know why I did this, Catherine. This is not fair to you. We should have got something better in your zone, but at the same time, you know, what we have is what we have for right now. Like I said, next week we'll set up some better video conditions and stuff like that. What I told you is that I would bring up some different hitters. So what I'm going to do is bring up Stacy. We'll bring up Stacy Newman, and we'll flip her around back right-handed where she needs to be, and kind of let Stacy down into the pitch. Now, this is what I mean. This is a total different pitch location, so we'll see some different things. The lower the pitch, the tougher it is to hit, and so, but we'll go with this, you know, because basically we're looking for the same mechanics on a high pitch that we see on a low pitch. It's just much more difficult to do on a low pitch, but don't get me wrong, Stacy's going to do it. I just like to see all of you do it. So we kind of run through this, and one more time, basically we kind of see, I want everybody really to notice this, keep on noticing this, you know, check the angle of the shoulders as we launch the bat. We really want to kind of be careful there, although I told Catherine last night this is a high pitch, so we don't have video of anybody, you know, college hitters, you know, USA softball hitters, Major League Baseball players swinging at that high pitch because they're not going to swing at it. So it's kind of tough to gauge this, Catherine, but we'll look at some other stuff, and that's just for everybody to, you know, kind of be wary of. And I'll show you one more thing I want everybody to be wary of. We kind of talked about this last night, just the farther that the mass gets from your body, the more difficult that it is to turn, so we're real careful. The more difficult it is for the middle to turn, the farther that the mass is out here from the body. So, you know, so it's just stuff that we'll kind of continue to kind of think about. And she takes this through. We kind of, one more time, you know, we're really looking to see this type of movement here from the back foot. And let me back this up so everybody can get a good look. You know, we'd really want to see the back foot better turn through. I mean, we can see that the middle didn't turn through as well as what the middle should have turned through. You know, you can see this. Sorry about that. Better kind of, that's a big circle, but whatever. This middle, you look at it and you can see the differences. But, you know, good job, Catherine, and we'll continue to kind of look at this. And this is Bree. And let me get you in a, so Anna Avila. So it's kind of a low pitch, low strike. It's good because this is kind of right where Stacy's pitch is at also. So this is what I do like to videotape here. Both hitters, you know, going to work on that low pitch. And like I said, I'm going to do this pretty quickly. I think I talked to Bree last night. I mean, she does some good stuff. We want to be careful here. Let's be careful how much we see the knob, A, going this way as we go into toe touch, and B, as we already kind of discussed, kind of a dropping type motion. What we'd really like to be able to see is basically the knob here kind of linked up to the middle, and being turned, basically being turned by the middle. So we see Brianna's knob kind of going in a backwards direction. So now we see her knob kind of here, and we see Stacy's really hasn't moved. So one of the other things I talked to Bree about last night is, you know, just her hands sit up on top here. Her hands sit here up on top of the shoulders instead of being on, you know, what we call on plane with the shoulders. And you'll see this in all high-level hitters, basically on plane with the shoulders. And we can usually see a lot of kind of parallel of the front forearm to the shoulders, you know, as the bats kind of launch through. So Brianna's going to be careful with that, because now we'll see the dropping type. We see her knob now dropping here to get on plane with the shoulders before she launches through, and that really makes it tough to maintain that kind of the length and the mass of the bat to the middle are kind of perpendicular to the middle as she gets through. But she does do this pretty well, decently turning the middle through. As we take this all the way through, we can see a pretty decent turn of the middle through. So it's just stuff that we'll continue to look at. So we'll go to the next hitter real quick here and kind of see what we have. Make sure there's nobody. This young lady's name is Brittany, and we kind of see Brittany get through pretty close to the same height of the pitch and kind of get these off. And I'm really hoping that those of you who's had your video taken are still watching, because I'm going to show some things at the end of this that I kind of want everybody to understand. Matter of fact, I'm going to show part of it now because I don't want to lose anybody early. What I want to do is show you the relationship between the hands and the back shoulders she launches through, because we want to be careful with that old kind of saying about throwing the hands. So we kind of see this launch through, launch through, launch through, and we see at this point of the swing, even farther through the swing, that the hands have not come off the shoulder at all. And you'll see this in everybody, doesn't matter who it is. And basically we see that type of movement, this same type of distance here, all the way to the point, what I call the bat lag position. The knob is pointed at the pitcher, the end of the barrel's pointed at the catcher, and we basically see a middle movement. I mean, that's what we're looking for, is to have the middle move the mass of the barrel. So we'll take this back one more time, and we'll kind of go through and we'll get back to kind of looking to see how Brittany's kind of turning through this. And I'm going to pause it. So what we're kind of doing is continuing here with Brittany, just looking for some of the similarities, some of the differences. So we kind of turn this through, and Brittany, it's a good job turning through. I mean, so far this doesn't look bad at all. You know, somewhat yesterday we talked a small bit just about trying to be a little more centered, you know, trying to making sure, and we kind of talked about this earlier, we get the back shoulder, the knob, and the back knee kind of right at the connection point, kind of all sitting on top of each other now. And this is just a function, Brittany, of, you know, better being able to take mass with the barrel kind of down into the ball, and then obviously right at contact, you know, we have more more mass kind of like driving that ball out. So, and this is a pretty good job, Brittany. You do a good job down here, you know, just as far as turning through. That looks really good. And then we want to make sure that kind of as we get through this, what we're better looking for, and I told you guys, if you're still watching this, and I hope some of you that I earlier put up here are still watching, there's just some really good information, stuff that we really want to continue to focus on, and that is being able to basically turn, being able to turn through the ball instead of turning and then just, you know, kind of disconnecting and taking the hands out to the ball. So what we want to be able to see better, Brittany, is instead of the shoulders basically stopping here and the hands shooting out this direction, we'd like to be able to see this kind of back shoulder continue to go out here, back shoulders continue to go out here, as this is kind of hooked through the front side. So better kind of take a look, and you know, don't get me wrong, Brittany, because you actually do that pretty good. So you know, that's just something we want to be wary of, and to be honest with Brittany, you don't need to necessarily worry about that now. It's just something you want to maintain, because you do look really good on that. You did a great job. You know, be careful, everybody. You can see Brittany's kind of closed off just a small bit, but all in all, Brittany, I'd say you have some pretty good things going on. So better get yourself upright and kind of that's a nice job. We're going to move on to the next person. We're almost done, and